The value proposition of XRP is that it has these liquidity pools. Automated market makers on the XRP Ledger could be a game changer, uniquely positioning it to leapfrog other DEXs.
The XRP Ledger is poised to become an ecosystem of cooperatively interconnected XRPL protocol chains.
This was part one out of a series about XRP and the XRP Ledger. We at the DeFi Standard think it's important that people educate themselves on their investments. Being educated on your investments enables you to stay on track and recognize the difference between reality and hype. The XRP Ledger is a decentralized, permissionless, open-source blockchain that anyone can contribute to and build on. It offers powerful utility and flexibility that you can access with any of the supported Python, Java, or JavaScript libraries. The creation of Bitcoin in 2009 marked the birth of decentralized currencies, money that is not controlled by a central authority. Though this was a big step for individuals' financial freedom and person-to-person payments, there were some drawbacks to the Bitcoin network which still persist today. The biggest issues were the slow speed of transactions and the high computing power needed to process them. In 2011, developers David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brito joined forces to achieve a collective goal: to create a digital asset that was more sustainable, scalable, and able to process transactions much faster than Bitcoin. Thus, the cryptocurrency XRP and the blockchain on which it runs, the XRP Ledger, were born. The XRP Ledger has been live since then. With a decade of uptime, the XRP Ledger has been a reliable backbone of a variety of use cases, including payments, tokenization, DeFi, and more. Let's dive deeper into the reasons the XRPL is useful and powerful enough to bootstrap a new economy. Payments moving across the XRP Ledger can settle in roughly 3 to 5 seconds at a global scale. The XRP Ledger is remarkably cheap to use. The transaction fee on the network costs less than 1 cent, starting at just 0.0001 XRP, which is very low compared to other blockchains. Many blockchains require large amounts of energy to process transactions and maintain the network. The XRP Ledger is designed to use as little energy as possible. In fact, the cryptocurrency XRP uses 0.0079 kilowatt-hour of energy per transaction, which is 100,000 times smaller than the 951.58 kilowatt-hour per transaction using Bitcoin. Annually, this amounts to a savings of over 50 billion kilowatt-hour of energy. The negligible amount of energy that XRP Ledger does use is offset through carbon credits, making it the world's first major global carbon-neutral public blockchain. Accounts on the XRP Ledger. All accounts have a public address and a private key. The public address is how your account is located on the XRPL and is derived from the private key. It's similar to a bank account number and is used to receive funds, the account, and make transactions. You can think of the public address as your account identifier, and your private key is what allows only you to use your account. Private keys are meant to be just that, private. Anyone with access to your private key has control over your account and any funds associated with it, so it's important to keep it safe and secure. An XRPL account can hold multiple currencies and asset types at once. This means you don't need to create multiple accounts/wallets to hold different types of funds, whether that's XRP, USD, EUR, or any other type of token. Creating an account. A small XRP deposit is required to open an account on the XRPL. This is called the account reserve, which is used to prevent spam on the network and ensure that all accounts are genuine. When you close your account, a portion of the account reserve is returned. Destination tags. Companies that manage wallets for multiple people often use a single address with a destination tag to specify the user's address. That allows them to represent that the account is an exchange wallet without requiring an account reserve. You can think of the destination tags like apartment numbers for each tenant. If you send a letter to that apartment, it will always go to the same address, but only the tenant will be able to open the mailbox for their unit. Key rotation. For accounts that require access by more than one person, key rotation allows an entity that owns an address to enable different people to alternately hold the key for the address. So if one person leaves, their key can be removed and their successor's key can be added. This way, the account doesn't go with the person leaving, it stays with the entity.
Accounts are real things on the XRP ledger. They have balances, they have owners, they have properties that can be changed. This is unlike UTXOs on the Bitcoin blockchain that don't have properties. Well, UTXO has a balance and it has some key that can sort of unlock it most of the time, but that's the end of its properties. So imagine if you're a charity or even a large company, and you have an account on the ledger. You receive funds into that account, and there's somebody in your company who, or some process in your company that processed this, that can allow those transactions to be signed to access your funds. So say you're a charity and you just want US dollars. So you hire somebody to take all the donations that you've received and somehow turn them into US dollars in your bank account. Now let's say at some point in the future you change your mind, you say, okay, now we want to hold XRP, we want to hold Bitcoin, we don't want to convert them into dollars immediately. So you fire the person or the company that was doing that, or maybe the employee leaves. In blockchains like Bitcoin, you have to change your receiving address at this point because there's no other way to change the key. There's no other way to lock out the company that had access to your account before. That's very disruptive, particularly for charities that have public, well-known addresses, right? There's a donation address for, let's say, the Electronic Frontier Foundation or your favorite charity. If they have to change those receiving addresses, that's very disruptive. So the XRP ledger has accounts as things that have properties.
You have accounts that are on exchanges, we have accounts that are on blockchains, and then we have accounts that are in wallets. And they can be all different things, but actual assets only exist on the blockchain. And you could look at a wallet like an access point that allows you access to transact with those assets. And with the XRP Ledger's accounts, since they're far more advanced than other networks, since XRP Ledger does not have native smart contracts, it does have certain programmability built into the network. And these are called smart transactors. So multi-signature to allow multiple signatures on an account. And escrow is another smart transactor, as well as payment channels are another smart transactor. So the accounts are a very core component of the XRP ledger. Digital asset wallets like Bifrost, Dum, MetaMask don't actually hold digital assets. The actual crypto asset lives on an account on the blockchain. So the XRP Ledger's account system, it's the authoritative record of who owns what XRP and where the transaction went. That's what makes blockchain trustless. It's a full accounting system. And the accounts in the XRP Ledger are far more powerful than Bitcoin in a magnitude of ways. So there are certain features that it has, like multi-sig, which allows it to be programmability at the network layer. Escrow, payment channels. You could disable your master key and rotate a regular key periodically. Like there's things that you could do natively and programmable. And it has a ability to have different type of signing. So wallets act as an access point for you to access your account on the blockchain. So if it's Flare, Ethereum, XRP, the digital assets, the crypto asset, the native one lives only on that ledger or that blockchain. It cannot be taken off. It could be locked on some ledgers and then issued on another ledger as a wrapped version of it, but the actual canonical XRP, it's called, the real XRP, never leaves the ledger. So when we talk about private ledgers, every exchange, when you send your XRP there and then you're trading it on the order books, it's on a private ledger. what I think everyone needs to understand with accounts is that if you need to see the golden source of truth, it's not your wallet UI, because there could be glitches in the UI interface that say you have 0 XRP. Doesn't mean you have 0 XRP, because your account is on the blockchain. So you need to go to the Explorer, and there'll be options that allow you to peer in and see your account. And simply just read only. There's no risk. Just copy and paste your public address, and you can see if it says you have 10,000 XRP, but the wallet interface says you have 0, you still have 10,000 XRP. So you could just, transfer that to a different access point, and you could have multiple access points, and be prepared for a significant shift in what we've always known of storing a private key and having to keep it on a cold storage being the safest way. When you could get rid of the private key and you could customize and add programmability to the actual wallet account, and then complement that with the wallet's value-added services and user flexibility to where you could have multi-factor authentication without sacrificing the decentralization. It's called programmable smart contract wallets. Now, you're going to hear the phrase account abstraction.
Smart accounts will basically offer the kinds of services and user experience you get nowadays with a bank, but, well, without a bank. So, for example, no more having to write down seed phrases. Wallets can be secured using more standard procedures like two-factor authentication or biometrics like a fingerprint. As Cointelegraph magazine's illuminating article put it, quote, "Because smart accounts enable the cryptographic keys to be stored on the phone's hardware security module, phone wallets can now be almost as safe as a hardware wallet." Now, I recommend giving that article a read, by the way, especially if you want to dive deeper into how this will work under the hood. Account abstraction is going to be available on any EVM-compatible chain, so think layer 2s like Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism, as well as the likes of the BNB Smart Chain and Avalanche. This goes way beyond just Ethereum, folks.
It's what's going to allow for the next million or billion users supposedly to come in, because it would allow grandma to be able to use, Web3, because it can be customized for Web2 users and configured. Now, XRP Ledger, which in the Masari report, which video is going to come out the next day or two, we go through that report and they explain how XRP Ledger has inbuilt programmability that allows it to do the same things that account abstraction can do on Ethereum, but with hooks. It's going to give it even more powerful capabilities. And I'll throw in on top of that, Arthur Brito recognized this, and he said, we need a new account mechanism if we're going to scale to 8 billion people or 7.5 billion people. I never knew what he meant for years until this past year, and I was like, that's what it is. So they've obviously built PolySign. You could already see it. They've built policies on top of the regular securing of the keys. So the institutions don't have to worry about their key being stolen, or it doesn't have to be stored in a cave somewhere in Switzerland, because it's sharded and split by validators running on HSMs, where the validators have no access to the HSMs that the sharded keys are held in. So there's different ways it can be configured. And then they build policies on top. So now you give them, all right, you got a new set of, Web 2-like and banking infrastructure policies, so that they could allow it for their corporate structure, so that not just one person has access to it, and there can be different safety measures when sending, corporate payments and banks. That's what standard custody is able to do right now. And having a network, a blockchain, you're able to then shard the keys. So there's no way to steal the private key if there's no one private key. It doesn't exist anymore. It's sharded. When you hold your crypto on an exchange, It's on a private ledger. It's the exchange's private ledger held in an account that the exchange owns on the XRP ledger. But you're trading on that exchange, it's all private in their own database. So this discussion around private ledgers, every exchange has a private ledger. The XRP will always exist only on the XRP ledger. It can be locked and then wrapped and issued onto a sidechain.
This was part one out of a series about XRP and the XRP Ledger. We at the DeFi Standard think it's important that people educate themselves on their investments. Being educated on your investments enables you to stay on track and recognize the difference between reality and hype. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the next episodes, which will be coming soon.
The value proposition of XRP is that it has these liquidity pools.